Hello. We'll see if anybody gets in here. Didn't have much luck this afternoon, so. Nope, I did not record. Oh, what's on here? No, I did not record Taurus's video. Cards are still laying here, but nope, didn't do it. Trying to move some things around here. I'm going to talk about a topic that some people might understand and others might not quite understand. I didn't understand it until it was revealed to me. Universe had to reveal it to me. I'm going to pull up these cards here. And I'll lay them out when I actually do the reading. How this is freedom when you actually figure out what your you actually can look at yourself in the mirror. Say, you know what? I got issues. You got them too. So give them all to me and I'll give mine to you. Yeah. Obviously, we can't self-loathe. But we'll see if anybody wants to get on here and talk about it. If not, I'll do a quick little video on the shadow work, what I've found out. And this was actually, if you'll go back to my live reading that I did on, it was right around Christmas. Talk about rough. It was right around Christmas time that all of this was revealed. About working with our shadow. And then I saw other people starting to get sort of like the same downloads that I did. And I was like, all right, I'm onto something here with the shadow work. And speaking of, hang on a second. Hello? I'm okay. How are you? Uh-oh. No, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I saw Stacy on the, I saw her. I'm like, hey, how are you? She's like, I gotta talk to my brother. It's important. I'm like, oh, well. But he said thought you would come in on Friday. Okay. Okay, yeah, keep me updated. All right. Love you, dude. Bye. Not cool. Oh, boy. Either way, shadow work. Just when you think you have your shit under control, something else pops up. One of the things I notice about shadow work is if you ever saw, if you were ever like at, actually they have like, where there's things that pop up out of the holes and you try and hit them with the hammer on top of the head. That's like shadow work. As soon as you get one thing under control, something else pops up and, you're trying to hit that and make it go away. And sure enough, like eventually you kind of fry out because you're like, I can't deal with all of this. And basically your brain begins to short out. Most of us, and it was interesting because um most of us have dealt with people with NPD and have very minute tolerance for abuse, myself included. However, I realized, and I have said it even in I was not perfect. I had to actually come out and verbalize. The universe made me do this. Freedom. That very well could be why confessional is so powerful. When you actually come out and say, you know what, I screwed up doing this and this and this and this and this and this before. This could be my own karma. Oh, hi Liz, welcome. From me being a shitty person in my past, whether it be past lives or whether it be just things I've done before I woke up. I'm sure that each and every one of us have been toxic to somebody at one point or another in our lives. And some people don't want to hear that. And you want to know what, that's an issue. It's that you personally, if I'm triggering you, that's something that you personally need to work on yourself. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. Nobody's going to be perfect. And if somebody comes across like they're perfect, yeah, well, they're not. Nobody's perfect and has all their shit together. Then again, there's a lot of people who like to project and put it out there like they have all their shit together when inside they're dying. They're the most insecure people and they're dying inside. So, it's just the way it is. Now, when you know you're good at something, however, like you can have, no, it's not the human experience at all. It's actually making mistakes and learning from them and becoming better as a result of the mistakes that you made, and that you can actually admit your mistakes instead of just be toxic and continue in these toxic cycles and cyclical things. However, what comes up a lot of times is that we have to understand that we're not perfect either. Yeah, I get it. I don't tolerate abuse in any form or fashion. It's not acceptable. I know how it feels. And I know what you're going through. And especially when you're dealing with spiritual issues on top of all of it yet, that's the shadow work. When your spiritual issues start coming up to the surface and bubbling up, yeah, that's your dual part of you, and that's the stuff that you have to work through so that you can have a breakthrough on the other side. Your biggest breakthrough comes after your biggest pain, I'm telling you. Not to mention, you actually feel the grace and love from the universe to work through this and actually pull up your shadow, and that you can actually see it for yourself. That takes the judgment out of you judging somebody else, even though there's things that still piss me off. I don't like being copied because I'm an original person. I don't like being copied. That's one thing that will piss me off if somebody starts copying my shit. Like, it's like, come on, man, be original, be authentic, be your true self. You don't need to copy what I'm doing, even though that's one thing that was probably a shadow of mine that I don't like. I don't like what they say about, and I think it was the nun, shout out the nun. She agrees the same way I do. Imitation is not the best form of flattery. Not at all for me. Inspiration, if I can inspire somebody to be a better person and to be authentic and to go after their goals and their dreams and to work on themselves and realize that they're not a shitty human being because they don't have all their shit together, but we all are a work in progress, not to get down on yourself because of that, then I'm doing my job as a person. is when people can't see that they have issues as well, is when I have an issue. So, then again, their shadow is not my issue. Shouldn't be. Their shadow is their own issue. We need to learn to allow people to their own vices and let the universe take care of them. And we move on forward with our own lives. Of course, not dismissing somebody as far as like just going cold on somebody for no reason. Now, if there's abuse, absolutely dismiss that person. You need to heal. However, you do need to learn to forgive too. Forgiveness is the hardest thing to a person who has hurt you and abused you. That's the hardest thing to do, is to be like, you know what, I'm not perfect. They're not perfect. They got issues. So do I. But we're not to judge their shadow. We're supposed to pray and allow the universe to reveal there's nothing that you can do, I can do, or anyone else can do for somebody who, especially when you're going through dark nights of the soul and stuff like that, which have been intense. They have. This past year was, but 2018, 2017. Okay, when all this first started with me, it was rough because I didn't understand what was going on, and the collective was kind of all going through this at the same time. And you know, you hear about the dark night of the soul, you hear about the twin flame journey, you hear about all of this stuff happening, and you don't understand. It's to purify. You're purifying yourself, but you're allowing the universe to bring all this stuff up. Hi, Queen of Swords, 444. You're allowing the universe to work on you. However, myself, I'm going to tell you, I'll throw it out there. I wanted to blame other people. When it was my own damn shadow, I had to look straight in the face and be like, yeah, you got issues too, honey. Yes, you do. You got issues you got to work on. Speaking of myself. Anytime I go out in public, I always take folic acid. Hang on. That helps some with your immune system and stuff like that. So that's one of the things that our twin is actually there to do, is to bring out your shadow. You guys are bumping shit. They say bumping ugly. No, it's bumping shadows. And it's not a pretty picture. That's why the twin flame dynamic can be so toxic and painful, because you guys are being a mirror for each other. It's your other half of your soul. I always looked at the yin yang as the male and female. No, it's what's inside you. There's always darkness in the light, and a little light in the darkness. So it was interesting. Like I said, the reading that I did, it was either Christmas night or the day after. And I had said about learning. That's exactly what he was supposed to do. That's why he was there. Be a reflector and be a mirror, so you knew what to work on. And it sucks. It's hard. And the thing is how many of us stop loving our own selves and put all of our energy into somebody else instead of your own self. I did it a lot. But the universe it was a universal thing. Yeah, we're not supposed to feel bad about, we're not supposed to, first off, we can't blame somebody else for our own internal darkness. We can't. We have to accept our own shadow. One of the things I want to actually, and she made me cry last night, but I mentioned it, what, 2.5 weeks ago about loving our shadow. In that reading, it just came flying out, and I'm thinking, what? Okay. And then there was another reader who I love, one of my top 5, Queen Cup Tarot. Check her channel out. She's actually legit and real. She had actually talked about this last night, and it's a very triggering, it didn't trigger me because I was already doing this. I was already processing this stuff for the last 3 weeks. Yep, Dark Nights of the Soul. However, this whole week, ever since Uranus turned direct, can't stop me. Even though today I was a little bit more on the downward side, resting because I was doing stuff Sunday, Monday, Tuesday nonstop. I was still doing stuff today. Still got some stuff done, cleaned. My counterpart, who's in prison, wanted me to go visit him, and I was like, and he's like, look, I don't know how long I'm going to be here because he will be getting sent. And when he gets sent to the big house, because where he's at right now is local, but when he gets sent, he's gone for 4 years. And so visits will be very limited as far as me being able to go visit. So, because it'll be hours away, possibly, unless it's the one around here, and I doubt that he will go to the one around here. So I'm not gonna be driving 2-3 hours for a visit for half an hour. Fuck that. I may go like once a month. Ain't going in bad weather. So yeah, I figure I'd go visit him while I still had the opportunity. Feel bad for the guy. Tried to help him, like I said. But, oh, my oils, they're all done. I have 8 different flavors. Yesterday, where's it at? Which one is it? It's not that one. It's not that one. Yeah, it is this one. It's this one. Oh. This is holy oil I made. This is the oil that Moses, the recipe Moses got and gave to Aaron for them to carry the Ark of the Covenant. I got the recipe and I made a batch of it, and it's potent, really potent. I only have 3 of them. I'm keeping 1 for myself of each one so that I know what bottles they go into. And I'll have 2 of each for sale, so you better get them while you can. Then I have to make more. I have the one's for fire signs. Where is it at? The cinnamon one. It's not that one. It's not that one. It's not that one. Here it is. Call that the bulldozer. Blocks. Remove those blocks. As you see, they have crystals that are charged that are in there. Yep. This is for water signs. This is for air signs. This is holy oil. And this is earth. And then I have prosperity love oil, and I have like a rejuvenating, has lavender, has lemon, has lime. It's more for relaxing and being able to relax while you're getting downloads. But they all have cassia in them. They all have the same properties as the holy oil does, but not as much as this is straight up. Where did the other one go? Down on the floor. Like I said, I have 8 different kinds. I don't have them all marked yet, or all named yet, but I'm working on it. There it is. The earth sign one. So I have air, earth, fire, and water. And then this one's the love oil. And some of these have like lime and lemon. Like I actually took the peels and put them in with the oil. One's love, the one's prosperity, and the other one's like I said, the relaxation for like major downloads. That's that one. So how y'all been? Oh my God, that smells so good. You can smell the citrusy. They smell so good. I did a good job. I'm proud of this. They all smell different. They all smell amazing. I do like this one though too. It's really pretty. It's super psychic. Air signs. Yeah. I'm happy with them. I'm happy with the way they turned out. Like I said, I have 2 of each. Oh, and then my spray. Ain't no demon within a mile of me. Don't go running away. There's so much stuff jam-packed in one of these bottles. Can't even just call it a sage spray. It's not sage and smudge. It has has ocean water in it. There's a lot of properties in that spray. Couldn't figure out why, like, Spirit said go to the ocean and get that water. Well, I did. So I have 11 bottles of that to get rid of. Either way, I'm starting with my store, getting the stuff around. I'm going to be playing music constantly over in the other room. So this stuff will be getting good vibes as it sits there at all times. Like I said, I was supposed to do Taurus's reading. I didn't do it yet. They're like the least amount of subs I have anyway, so what's the point? I'll just go back to starting with, I'm going to do Virgo first. They had the most amount of views this month so far. They killed it. Then again, that was a video that must have gotten through whoever was turning my whole channel in. And 2 days later, both your videos are good to go. Yes, I know this because I didn't say anything wrong or do anything wrong. So, stop monitoring my shit, please, because I ain't doing shit. It's a lot worse on YouTube. A heck of a lot worse. So, I figure maybe I'll go live on Friday night. What do you think? That maybe doing live readings? I don't know. Because if I only get 2 people on here when I go live and do readings, then there's no point in it. Well, I'm going to soon get off of here. I just wanted to explain to you that if shadow stuff is popping up, if you're still going through dark nights of the soul, It's okay. We're not perfect. Take that part of you that is hurting and ask God to show you. Is there shadow mixed in with this? Is this ego? Is this um me wanting to blame somebody else when I need to be looking at something about myself? What is this? Why am I still in bed? Yep. What's your sign, Liz? I did, honey, I was doing this since 2017, hardcore. Hardcore. Well, Mars is there now. Um, and it was interesting. Sharon Andrea, if you don't know who she is, please check her out. She is a part of the conscious community. She is a light worker. She is like my mom. I tell her this all the time. I'm like, you're like the mom that I never had. I mean, I had a good mom. Don't get me wrong. My mom was always too much of my sister's ass. Probably put another shadow of mine. But to give two shits about what was going on with her other kid, and that's why I had to be so independent. Not to mention I'm an Aries, so like they just expected me to always be able to pull myself up from my bootstraps because I've done it. I've done it a lot in my life, and I've never had to depend on anybody ever. It was never really hard for me to get into a relationship either. I could be in a relationship right now if I wanted to be. I could be in a relationship if I wanted to be with a toxic person. I'm choosing not to be in that lifestyle. I'm the youngest. I'm the baby. I'm number 2. It's funny. My birthday's also April 2nd. I'm number 2. There's only just me and my sister. My sister's the oldest. My sister, however, there was a trauma that had happened to her when she was, I think she was like 9, 8, 7. I was 5. I was in 1st grade. She was in 3rd. So I was either 6. She might have been 8 at the time. We just started back to school and she was riding her bike and she got hit by a car. She almost died at 8 years old. And I will never forget that. Part of it I blocked out because I was so young. But my parents were gone from me for like 2 freaking weeks just solid. I was just tossed around between family members that some of them I didn't even really know. And talk about scary. When you're hanging out with family members, you don't know where your parents are or if they're coming back. I wasn't allowed in the hospital to see my own sister. And you got to think about it. This is back in the early 80s. So like that is something that, it was interesting. My sister brought this up when she was home. I think it was in September. She came home in September and she had said about, it was a significant number. I forget what it is. It was like 37th year anniversary of that. Something like that. And it was right after I had ended up, okay, it was the end of September. Because I just, right after the Pisces full moon, I was down at the beach. I had ocean water still in my car. And my sister said, do you think it's weird that I feel all of a sudden that I should go down there and to where it happened, because it was here in this town, and stand there and say, you didn't defeat me, you didn't kill me, you tried, but you didn't win? And I said, I'll go with you. I got ocean water. We'll go purify that spot. I know right where it was. And then she decided her daughter has severe anxiety issues, and I had to go see Divine Mass because there was just a lot that was going on. And then her husband wanted to go, and I was like, no, I'll go myself. So I went down there and stood there and said, you want to know what? You tried to destroy my family. You didn't win. And I stood there in place of my sister and said, tried to destroy my family? Bad idea. But that was the my sister, yeah, she significant trauma from that. And then me as the baby sister, not knowing where my parents are. Yeah, it didn't happen to me, but it happened to me. And ever since like that, it was like I was the insignificant child and turned into the black sheep after that. It was weird. Because obviously my mom was scared. She almost lost her child. You know, so she really freaking babied her, and the hell with the other one, me. So it was what it was. It hurt. But even up until this day, it's the same way. And she's the oldest. Mom's Virgo, so. Of course, I'd always hear, I love you girls the same. Okay. I was the one that I never needed anybody. Yep, she sure did. She had she still has a scar on her leg. She almost lost her leg. She almost died. Like, she lost a lot of blood. There was a lot of things that had happened to her. But I was 6. I didn't understand. Thank you. I'm glad that you enjoyed that. Thank you all my new Virgo subs as well. Like I said, when I pull those cards, I usually I'll get like a channeled message for the collective of that sign. And I'll pull the pre-shuffle and just ask Spirit what's going on. And then I pull out the other card and everything's channeled. I hear God tell me and I tell you. And if it resonates, it does. And if it doesn't, then that's okay. Usually my stuff is for the collective of other light workers that I can help you guys through your stuff. Because heaven knows, we're on the up and up. We just can't beat ourselves up for stuff that has happened in the past anymore. We have to learn to accept it and grow. Me and my sister actually have a very good relationship. We didn't used to. It was like sibling rivalry all the damn time, and I was never home. I couldn't stand it. Like, it was weird. It was odd. I got tired of all the yelling. I got tired of all the fighting. I'd just rather be hanging out with my friends, and I'd rather just not deal with it. I always made sure I was busy. I never took the time. Well, my first bout of depression was actually when I was 14. So, and didn't even want to get out of the house. Stayed in my room, stayed in my bed for almost the whole damn summer. And my parents didn't think there was something wrong with that. It's like, I don't know. You'll find love again. No, when someone tells you that you're not good enough for their kid, that kind of tends to hurt. just because your family's not rich and you weren't born into a wealthy family. Well, sorry. Like, there's so much stuff. That's all shadow stuff. That's the childhood purging. I did get a new frankincense burner, so I'm happy about that. Wasn't expensive either. I love it. It goes and goes and goes and smells so good. My whole upstairs smells like it. Look at this. Look. It's amazing. It smells so good. I got a whole roll of charcoal over there. What you gotta do is light the one end. It goes the whole way, and then you just throw frankincense on top, and yeah. It's really nice. I love it. You just can't touch it though, because it does get hot. But yeah, one of the ways I think this is just maybe me talking out loud is if you ruminate over the same thing over and over and over, that very well could be your shadow trying to come up. And you try and suppress it, but you just ruminate over it. AKA sort of like not feeling good enough. Usually stems from early childhood trauma. So you kind of getting what I'm throwing down here? Comes from early childhood trauma. And then when you meet somebody who just discards you or treats you less than, like, such as AKA the NPD people, we think this is a new thing. No, it's always been there. They just brought it out. And they just brought up an old wound that you now get to look at and heal it and say, okay, this is something that needs to go. I accept it. I understand that it's happened. And okay, universe, how do we tackle this thing together? And that's the key. Some people don't want to hear it. Some people just want to project their pain off of themselves onto just anybody. That's what narcissists usually do because they're dealing with so much trauma too. One of the things that Queen Cup Tarot had said last night, she had me cry. She wrote a letter to her shadow. I want you guys all check her channel out, and it has to do with light workers and stuff. Something about the shadow and the light. I forget the name of the title. Shout out to her. And I was like, man, all right, someone else that's on the same wavelength as me here, as far as I understand exactly what you're talking about. I do. I get this. I see what you're saying. Yeah, it was the last one she did. It very well could trigger you, especially if you dealt with NPD, like people with narcissistic personality disorder. Obviously, there was some, like I said, there were some traits, toxic traits that we had that attracted them in. More than likely, and she had made a pretty bold statement, but she's probably right. We all have that high recognition of ourselves. So there is, you know, we all, there's a form of healthy narcissism too. Don't get me wrong. We like to think of ourselves, but I'm sure that we at one point projected toxic shit when we were doing our thing before we came into an awakening. That's why we had to go through the dark night of the soul to friggin' rid all that stuff. This is so we can come up to a newer, higher vibration. You can creep all you want. It's fine. Welcome. I actually just did Leo's reading if you want to check it out. Might resonate with you. So I'm not ever saying that psychological abuse in any form or fashion. Yeah, that's the shadow work. We realize that we're not perfect. And it usually takes us looking at ourselves in the mirror and being like, okay, this got to change. Yep. I've been teaching celibacy. I've been telling people not to just energy exchange with just anybody. Get to know that person. Make them work for it. Seriously, you guys want to check out my live reading I did. It's probably my headliner reading that I have on my channel. And I talk about shadow work. It actually came out in the cards about loving your shadow. So you might want to check that out. I'm not saying that it's a beautiful thing to look at. However, it's one of those things. And at the beginning of the video, I had said it's kind of like that game that you see at like amusement parks and stuff, where you have a hammer and you're trying to beat down the little monsters that pop up. So you hit them over the head. That's like your shadow popping up every time something happens. No, I don't want to deal with that. It's their fault. Yep. Whack-a-mole. That's it. That's the game. That's kind of, yeah, that's kind of like the shadow work. You think you're good. You're just trucking along in life, and all of a sudden a trauma pops up and you want to knock it down right away. Not realizing that it's being brought up for you to be able to take it to God and the universe to heal it. It's actually an important moment to actually come to self-realization and be like, look, I'm not perfect either. I'm not saying ever accept somebody who abuses you. You don't need, but forgiveness, and they'll say, oh, well, I don't have to forgive a narcissist. You want to know what? At one point, you were a toxic person as well. Like I said, forgiveness isn't for the other person. Forgiveness is for you to be free. And, yep, just talking to God. I had said that the other day. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Meditation is listening. Yep, soaking. I actually made some really awesome oils too, all inspired from meditation and talking to God, back and forth, dialogue. We need to have our own relationship with the universe and with spirit and with God through our higher self. We do. We have. I'll even show you. These are the 8 I made. They all are Reiki charged, if you want to call it that. They all have crystals in them. The one was actually an oil that was given, the recipe was given to Moses when he was carrying to give to Aaron for the children of Israel to carry the Ark of the Covenant. I made that oil. Well, that's what I want to do. I want to inspire people to be who they're created to be. Like I said, one of the things that the nun had said is, I don't want anybody to imitate me, but I want people to be who they're called to be. We need, and I've said this a bazillion times, we need every individual to find their purpose and start walking in their purpose of what they're called to do. There's so many people in this community. Some people will say, oh yeah, well, imitation is the best form of flattery. No, inspiration is like That's true. I want to inspire people. I don't want people to imitate me. I don't like that. I am who I am. I have not ever changed. This is me. This is who I've always been. And if I made mistakes, I usually take it to God, and if God says confess it, tell other people about your mistakes. I'm like, well, if they're gonna love me, they will. If they don't, whatever. If they wanna, whatever. They could sit there and judge. Well, judge not lest you be judged. And every time we get pissed off at a narcissist, guess what we're doing? We're judging them. So, yep, I don't like being used and abused. Nobody does. That's not for me to execute judgment either. Even though I have. I leave them up to God now at this point. I let God deal with them. I got my own shadow to slay and love at the same time. Recognize. Because without, there's light, there's dark. Thank goodness light's winning now at this point. This is the dawning of a new day. Whether or not you're meant to do inspirational stuff, help other people in one facet or another, whether by yourself. I know that the universe is, I'm going to start putting my name in places. I know I've been saying that for a year, but I'm actually really moving forward at rapid rate at this point now, and I'm ready for it. One of the things that I do know, though, as far as relationship wise, I don't know. Exactly. Yep. Relationship wise, I'm not. It seems like too much of a distraction, and it gets me off my path. I don't want to ever give up a good thing if it's brought in by the universe, or dismiss a good thing that's brought in by the universe. But I can tell whether or not I'm an Aries with a Libra rising and a Capricorn moon. Yeah, I'm an Aries. So, talk about ego. Yep, wasn't perfect in any of those relationships. None of my past relationships was I perfect. There was a lot of triggers because I've gone through so much. Not making excuses, not trying to. See, I wasn't perfect. Point blank. No matter what they did, I wasn't perfect either. So we'll just put it that way. Can't make excuses. Yep. It's not. Getting better. Learning, like I said, learning lessons. And moving on and growing. That's what we're supposed to do. So that maybe our karma in the next life doesn't suck as bad. If we're working it out through this one, hopefully we won't have to come back. Like I said, my twin, he's in jail. Oh. Oh. Well, if you're not on my channel, get on my channel. I light into my own sign. I don't care. I do. I light into Aries like a sucker. I'm like, nope. And the thing is we want to think, most people want to think so highly of themselves. I'm not saying beat yourself up for it, because you're forgiven. We're a very graceful, merciful God. We're forgiven. We just can't forgive. We have a hard time more forgiving ourselves. That's true. Was it perfect? Not even close. A lot of issues. And it comes from the shadow side. However, I welcome and thank all of those people that have brought up my shadow for me to be able to get to this point and look it square in the face and say, I love you. You weren't recognized, and to heal it so that you can integrate it. 2020 glow up. I know I don't look the greatest. I wasn't even going to come on here. Like I said, my divine masculine is in prison, incarcerated, and for stupid stuff that I knew that he was going to end up either way. He admittedly knows he did some dumb shit, and he's going to be going away for 4 to 5 years. And what am I supposed to do? Just sit and wait? I don't think so. I'm going to continue trucking forward with my life. However, he's a huge part of it. And I have to thank him for bringing up the shadows. I was positive 110% positive he was a sociopathic douchebag, da-da-da. Actually, he's not. He was just a very hurt person himself. Yep, he was into toxic behavior. Well, his Lilith is in Virgo. So you want to talk about somebody who wants to beat themselves up all the time? She's more than happy to do it for him. And he's a Scorpio sun, Aquarius rising, and a Pisces moon. So he's very sensitive to outward and inward stimuli. He could just get around somebody and he's like, and he's in prison with all of these other, like, I feel bad for him because I know how sensitive I am, and I know how sensitive he is. It's why he had to be, it's why he did what he did, because he was extremely traumatized when he was a kid and grew up in a toxic environment. But he had, since he's been incarcerated and been sober, he's a completely different person. Doesn't really ask me for much. He actually asked me to put, see if I'd help him with the haircut. And I said, no. I don't got the money. I have to pay an electric bill, dude. Sorry. If I had the extra money, I would. I have all of these oils and stuff I have to sell. But I have an electric bill I have to pay before I don't have electricity. So I got to do that. There's a lot of shit I got to do, like I said. And when he actually gets sent off, it's going to be rough. And I'm not going to be able to go visit him like I can with him being where he's at now. Like, it's like a 15-minute drive. When he gets sent away, it's going to be like an hour to 2-hour drive to go see him. So he was probably my biggest catalyst for awakening. And I'm just you know, hoping that hang on one second. I'm just hoping that he also as I'm healing, that he's beginning to heal as well. He did call me at the beginning of this video. I always answer the phone for him. I don't ever not. Yeah, that's pretty much what has been that's what this Dark Night of the Soul stuff is. It's a reprogramming, like you're saying. Like I said, I feel like I had some wires that were messed up in my brain. You know, the third dimensional matrix wires were all wired in there correctly. And it's like they all started shortening out. Going through these dark nights of the soul, it's like you think you're going freaking crazy. Well, yeah, pretty much. However, I don't want to live in this, I don't want to live in this state no more. Like, I want to move away. I was really hoping like that he wouldn't get more than, I don't think he's going to get out. He's looking at least like 5 to 15. He might get out in 4, maybe. I don't want to stick around here until to see. So I want to move out of state. I want to get the heck away from here. He needs, I told him, I said, you want to know what? I just said it tonight. You're not. I don't even want to hear you mention alcohol to me. It's why you're sitting in here. Yeah, I can go have a beer. I can have a glass of wine. I can stop after 1. I understand you've been doing this since you were a kid and numbing yourself. It's time you heal. And I've been talking to him about this since August, since we started communicating again. So, well, yeah, we talk all the time, and we're like, he's like my, I was saying it for the longest time. He's like my bad big brother. I don't want to be like, but he's a huge inspiration for me. I just hope that he's going to be okay. That's all. I do. Because I just read in the paper, and I hate even the comparison of things. It's like I put everything on a scale. I do, because I'm a Libra rising. Like, see, I want everything to be fair. I'm sorry, for a probation violation versus someone killing somebody, whether it was involuntary or not, they get the same amount of time. Are you serious? Someone killed somebody and got the same amount of time my divine masculine got for a probation violation. Because he had his hunting rifle in his house. He did have drugs there too. Durr. Universe was watching out for me there. We weren't talking for months. And then he got busted. Like, I knew I wouldn't be going back to the house. When I drove away from his house in June of 2018, I heard God telling you won't be coming back to this house. And I started to cry. And I had to go no contact. So we stopped talking shortly after that, and I was pissed. I felt like I was dying. You know how that is. Trying to detox off of somebody who you're absolutely madly in love with. Not easy. Who rejects you and abandons you, and because they're afraid and fearful and the runner chaser. The more you push, the more they run. And then you come to find out, you end up dating somebody else months later, and it's just a fiasco, and they're doing almost the exact same thing. But it's so damn obvious, not to mention you're keen and onto it then. I'm telling you, it was like a divine setup. The same day, I broke up with my ex Aries last April. The same day, my divine masculine's house got raided and he went to prison. That's not a coincidence. I don't care what anyone says. It's not. I know we've done this multiple he knows it too. He tells me all kinds of stuff. We have these conversations where I'm like, you know exactly what I'm talking, and he'll sit there and just smirk and smile, and I'm like, I know you know. And he was saying about he was reading like a paragraph of a book, and he's like, I felt like I've done this before. Well, it's probably because you have. He's like, I could feel that. Probably because you felt that way. Who's still on here? I'm soon going to get off of here, so I kind of wanted to just bring up some things that I don't, and actually I predicted this back, I think it was over the summertime, that some of us that have been doing this shadow work stuff for a while, that we were still going to go through dark nights of the soul, but it wasn't going to be for like months at a time. It would be for short stints. Intense, but shorter stints at a time. And sure, at least for myself and for most of the collective that I've saw, it's glowing. They're glowing up now. They're not going through these dark nights of the soul like they were. Some people are still going through, and I still go through them, especially when I don't even call it dark night of the soul anymore. It's just energy downloads. Now I have gratitude for everything that I've gone through. Like, if I wouldn't have had my YouTube community, I love you all so much. My spiritual people. I mean, my gosh, I have friends and family that live right around here that I don't see for a month, 2 months, 5 months, a year, 3 years, 5 years. And they live right, they're supposed to be such good friends of mine, and I've helped them out in so many ways. Where are they? Nowhere. They're not on my YouTube. They barely talk to me on Facebook. So, and they live right here in town. It's part of the reason why I'm like, a prophet is never welcomed in their own hometown. They're not. Because they think that they know you when they don't know you. I have had I have had somebody who tried to come back into my life a few times. However, she very much disappointed me. And I was like, oh, hell no. Nope. So I don't answer to, hey, WYD, after I told you 4 months ago when you did what you did. And you just don't take my time seriously. That offends me. It does. If I say I'm going to do something, I try and do it, or I'll come on and at least tell people why I didn't. When somebody just ignores me for 2 days, and then at the last minute says, oh, by the way, I'm not doing this until, I'm sorry, but we made plans when I could have made other plans. And I haven't spoke to her since. I'm like, done, cut off. That's how I look at it. Like I said, I've gotten so little support from people in my own community that I don't even want to live here no more. People around here have all pretty much screwed me over. So, taking advantage of me one way or another. So I'm gonna fix. I want to get out of here. My parents are the only ones that that live around here, and I have family that lives up in another area that I get along with. That's pretty much it. And my daughter graduates. I've been waiting for her until she graduates. But I want to get the hell out of here. I don't like Pennsylvania. Gas prices are almost up to $3 a gallon. And I'm like, screw you, Tom Wolf. I can't stand him. So, all right, I'm going to get off of here. I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for talking to me. Like I said, if you're still going through shadow stuff and there's stuff popping up, you're getting irritated, aggravated, annoyed, ask the universe and be like, okay, let's heal this. Friday night, I'm probably going to come on and do live readings. I'll go through the zodiac. I did do a lot in December. I have not done any in January. I might pull cards for super chat. We'll see. If you have personal questions or whatever. I'm going to do Taurus's reading. I'm going to. Because I think that they need to hear. But the shitty thing about it is that's the least amount of subs I have is Taurus. So it's like a waste of 40 minutes for me. And then I got to fight with YouTube. And then it doesn't circulate really anyway. So at least get on and like the videos and put them on your social media for all those Tauruses who need to hear it. This is something that's going to be happening not just in January, but throughout the year. They're going to get a revelation about something that I already know about, and talk about shaking up their world in a good way, in a positive way, whether you're sun, moon, rising, or north node. Either way, I love you guys. Take care. I'll be doing Taurus reading probably tomorrow. I'll throw it up there. I will be doing Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine readings. They've been coming out a lot. And I really can't say a whole lot about, I don't even really know how to describe my thing. We're not in union, obviously, but we're not in separation either. Like, we're friends. It's kind of odd. It's kind of odd. Because it's like I'm single doing this on my own, but yet we still talk. So it's odd. I don't know what it would be like if he was single and out and free. I don't know. So, don't know. If he would have never went to prison, I know he would have never gotten clean. I know that. I even said that to him tonight. I said it to him. I'm like, this was the only way you were going to get sober. And don't sit there and say I'm wrong. I know I'm 100%. He's like, I know. He's funny. I do love him to pieces. It's like an unconditional brother, sister. We make each other laugh. We really do. We talk about football. He's like one of my best friends. So it's hard to describe. It really is. It's an odd relationship. But there's like this recognition and this knowing. And he knows I'd never intentionally hurt him. He knows that. That was one of the things he was always afraid of, was getting hurt. Because if you don't get close, they can't hurt you. If you discard them first, they can't hurt you. Make sense? Even though they're hurting themselves. We might think people don't care, but they do. They might act like they don't care, but honestly, they do. If it's your twin, you can feel it. You already know. So, they very well could be toxic and not good for you. And it's best to go no contact if they're toxic and not good for you at that time. You got to heal. That's your time to heal. One of the things I can say, I didn't even want to talk about twin flames. I didn't want to even discuss the concept a year ago. I was like, screw all the way up through man. I was like, screw that. Like trigger warning, big blinking lights. Yeah, I knew I was divine. But I'm like, whatever. I'm just myself. They're like, no, you're the other half of the twin. I'm like, no. Trigger. That was a trigger. Whack-a-mole. But I had to look at it then, and I'm like, I had to look at it, square in the face, and be like, okay, it's not going away. And it's been a year. Why isn't this going away? I can get over anybody else. Why can't I get over this person? Well, they're narcissists. Yeah, probably. Probably have traits of it. We all do. None of us are perfect. However, like I said, the universe is working on something. And I can actually stand. It took 5 months for me to even be, he had to detox and come to a real low point. And when I actually reached out to him, he wrote me, he called me, got me put on his visitors list. Like, he was adamant that I come see him. And one of the things he said to me when he looked at me in the face, he's like mirroring me, and I'm like, stop mirroring me, knock it off. And he's like, oh. And he had said, you really are a good soul. And I said, I know that I am. I know this. I said, I wish you would have understood this in your toxic days when we were trying to figure all this out. I said, if you would have listened to me. Wrong thing to say. We should never remind people of their faults. However, sometimes they do need to be reminded. What are you going to do? Can't go back on it now. I left it in God's hands, and God divvies out the punishment, not me. Apparently, God has a plan with him in prison. I don't know. And a different plan for me, why he's there. So I accept it. It sucks. But I accept it. I'm not going to get mad at God for it. He's going to work on him in prison. So let's see what happens. Something beautiful will come out of it. I know that. Unfortunately, he's going to be missing time with his grandkids, and that hurts a lot. Like, I look at stuff like that, and I'm thinking, his grandson's going to be like 12 years old by the time he gets out. 9. But one of the best things that can come out of that is that he gets the help he needs, and he gets healed and comes out sober and a better person and stays that way. So, trying to look at the bright side of things. And in the meanwhile, apparently there's still more work on myself I have to do. So, we'll continue. I got a path. He has a path. Whether they meet again at one point, they do. If they don't, and we have to meet in another life, then so be it. At one point, we'll be joined. Just the way it goes. He's my twin. Forever will be. So, I love you guys. You guys have a wonderful night. I'm going to get off of here. I hope that I kind of explained a little bit. Because my journey has not been easy, and I'm sure none of yours has either. But hopefully from here on out, it'll just get better and better and better. I think the universe has good things for each and every one of us. We just have to accept what we cannot change. Change what we can. And have the wisdom to know the difference between the two. Change what we can and accept the things that we can't change. That's an ego death in itself. Most of us want to change other people. Well, we can only change our own actions and our own self. And our reaction and actions to other things. So, staying in peace. And it's, like I said, one of the things I don't even really want to date. And I said this before I met the last guy I started dating. I didn't even want to date. And I know why now. It's a distraction. I'm not mad at him. He was not, I mean, it is what it is. Put it that way. That's all I could do is shake my head. And could talk shit about him. He wasn't that bad of a guy. He had some things he had to deal with and shit with his own shadow too. So I can't be mad. He was doing shadow work, I guess. Just didn't realize that's what he was doing. So, sorry if I brought up your shadow, buddy. I don't have Uranus on in Scorpio at 0 degrees for nothing, and I don't have my natal Pluto in Libra for nothing, and I don't have Jupiter and Chiron and the Sun in Aries, a stellium there for nothing, and I don't have my moon on your sun for nothing. I don't have my natal Saturn in Cancer, which was his rising sign, for nothing, and he's a Libra moon, and that's where Pluto is. So we had a very karmic connection, I know that. So, hello. Welcome to shadow work. Either way, I hope he gets better too. And I wish all of them nothing but the best. Every single one of my exes. Because I wasn't easy to deal with, I'm sure. I was a bitch. I know this. But, no buts. I didn't trust people. I dealt with some major abandonment issues. So, which most of us, that dude, that's probably one of the biggest things the collective has dealt with, was abandonment issues and rejection. Our whole life we've been like the black sheep. And we got tired of it. Because we knew that there was always this something down deep that you knew that you were created for something bigger than this. It's like, you just knew that you had gifts and you had talents and you had all this stuff. However, where was the integrity at? If you would have been able to expand on all of these gifts and stuff like that without having to go through the work, you would have people, it's all over YouTube, they exploit people. I see it everywhere. You see it in government, you see it in your own hometown, you see it everywhere. People just exploit other people. I see it on YouTube a lot, by the way. If anybody tells you your ex is coming back, they're lying, by the way. If you've heard this month after month after month and you have not heard anything from your ex, please stop watching that person and stop having hope that that person is coming back. Unless you know for a fact and you've taken it to God that somebody's your twin. Only God can clarify that for you. No reader is going to be able to do that. We could have an inkling that that very well could be your person, and a chart reader could tell you that. I don't read astrology charts, however, I know energy. But I'm not going to tell somebody else that somebody is somebody's twin. Only you know that, and the other person. That's also how I know that he actually admitted after closer examination. And then after talking to somebody else about the dynamic, who had confirmed that it's a real thing, he was finally like, all right, then she's not just bullshitting and saying, no, I don't do that. Trust me, I didn't want him as my twin. I divinely guided. I wanted to trade him in for a newer model. Yes, I did. I asked God, please don't let him be my twin. Please let me find somebody else. And God's like, no. No, that's it. And I'm like, well, I'll just settle for a soulmate then. Not until you got the twin flame thing figured out, and that gets on a good karma. Then when you learn how to love yourself correctly, and you learn how to love other people, then we'll consider a soulmate maybe. I'm not ready for anything yet. So it's hard when I have people trying to date me and stuff like that, and just kind of like, oh my gosh, like I get it. Like, I got so much other stuff that I'm trying to get done and do that I don't really have the time. Heck, I didn't even really do my hair today. I washed it. I just threw it up in a hat. So yeah, here I am, right on YouTube with my hair looking like hell. I don't care. So this is 34 minutes long, and I'm tired. Well, I'm going to go watch that then. I love when she does her videos. Oh, that's one of the other ones. I had like my top 5 list. I have a top 5 list, and then there's some honorable mentions of tarot readers. There's some honorable mentions that I'll tell you who the real deals are on here. And there's some honorable mentions too. And then there's some people who just want to take your money. So, and there are some people, there's a girl who's been on YouTube as long as I have. I've never saw her before a day in my life. She has over 20,000 subs, but YouTube's done the same thing to her as what they've done to me. Pretty much blacklisted her and blackballed her. So, she pretty much shouted out YouTube during the Aries video, and she was, F you, YouTube. Yeah, pretty much. I was like, yeah, I can get behind you. I feel you. I understand exactly how you feel. They've done the same thing to me. But if it wasn't for YouTube, I can honestly say I wouldn't know what the hell was going on with me. I wouldn't understand any of this, and the collective would have never been able to come together like this. So regardless, I have gratitude for the shadow of YouTube. Whack-a-mole. Bless them. I bless those who curse me. It is what it is. I'll pray for them that persecute me too. All right, I'm going to get off of here. I'm going to go watch Psychic Sounds by B. Thank you for letting me know that. Divinely guided, you can message me. We'll talk that way. I haven't talked to you in a while. I will be putting up Taurus's reading, and I'm gonna check I'll check the stats. I'll probably do some for like mid-month general whatever that I get, just a general energy for the top 3 signs, 4 signs maybe, the ones I want to do, my favorites. I'll definitely have to do Virgo because they killed it this month. Thank you very much, all my Virgo subs. That video is still going. Thank you very much. Keep on sharing it. Keep on liking it. Keep on commenting. Get it out to all the Virgos that need to see it. Also, your sun, moon, rising sign. Watch for them. And your North Node. Actually, go on every single one of my videos and like and share on your Facebook as well. I'd appreciate that. Because when it actually gets shared through Facebook, if you're on any kind of like spiritual channel, like groups, you can share it in spiritual groups on your Facebook. People have done that. I've done that. So share away. That way my stuff starts going. If not, but yeah, Virgo, I'll probably, I got to check Pisces and Aquarius. They're usually 2 that I really like to do. I like their energy. And I'm doing Aries because, well, that's my sun sign and I'm doing Aries. So we'll see what happens. Maybe Sag will get in there too. The other ones, we'll see. I got to see where they are in the stats. Videos aren't going. I ain't doing it. So, I love you guys. I'll probably start February's reading the last week of January. And if there's one thing you guys do know about me, all my titles are original. I don't steal anybody else's ideas. I've had my setup the way it's been set up since I've started this channel, pretty much. There's a few things I switched around, but it's all been original and mine. I don't try and be anybody else that I'm not. And I'm raw, and you're going to get what you get from me. People copy or whatever my shit, that's on them. No, it pisses, don't get me wrong, it pisses me off when people steal my shit that have like 100,000 subs, and I'm like, oh my God. Or they steal a title, or it's just ridiculous, and I'm just like, that's why I've been waiting. Then I usually will get my own original stuff. Well, I know a lot of Aquarius North nodes. Check out the Aquarius reading. So then your South node would be Leo, but we're not looking at. Hold on. Some people, like this shadow work is still some of our South node stuff. And past life stuff. But we're going to try and look at more of where we're going now. So I did notice that someone had said the same thing that I did, and it pissed me off, and it brought it up last night, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Really? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and North Node. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? After I just said the other day, if someone does that, I'm going to drop kick them right through the I want to. So damn bad. Because I know this bitch is probably watching me. Shadow coming up. I embrace that. I'm pretty feisty and fiery. That's the type of shit that just pisses me off. When the universe gives me... Don't even try and tell... I'm a one-of-a-kind original. Stealing my shit. Pissing me off. Acting like they're channeling shit and they don't... No. It's bullshit. Saying the exact same things I've said. And I'm like, yeah, well... You can try, but you're duplicating, or you're imitating, but I can't be duplicated, honey. You'll never be me. Stop trying to be me. Annoying. Either way, I'm gonna let y'all go. There's a little bit of my shadow coming up. Like I said, that's why I can't watch other people. And I'm gonna watch only the readers that I know are legit. Anybody else can go get bent. I have a top list and a few honorable mentions. That's it. I don't have the time. I got my own shit going on now. So, I'm only watching readings on my downtime. Actually, I don't even watch. I listen while I'm doing other things. If I'm getting a bath or if I'm doing my hair, I'll listen. I don't even have time to watch. I listen. Yeah, I understand that. I'll be coming on Friday night, like I said. I'll do live. I'm going to come on. I got to make sure the Peace Dealer isn't on. I'll set a time. The thing is when I set the time at my time, it usually goes to Pacific Standard Time. So if I set it, say I want to do it at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it'll actually be 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And that makes it 11 o'clock here. And there's no way I'm going live at 11 o'clock. Well, I mean, I could if I'm awake, but I've been trying to get to bed earlier. Today I took a nap and, well, all right. I love you guys. You guys take care. I'm going to watch Psychic Sounds by B. Take it easy. See you later. Have a good one. Bye.